Hey everybody, what's up? I'm Jerry and this is the Simply Cyber Report powered by LimaCharlie, the top cyber news stories you need to know about right now. Microsoft Security Threat Intelligence is reporting on the Raspberry Robin worm having infected at least 3,000 systems across 1,000 organizations at time of this report. First reported by Red Canary in September, Raspberry Robin is spread via USB drive, and yes, this is still a viable attack vector and very similar to how Stuxnet initially kicked off. It has very similar technical behavior to the FakeUpdates malvertising campaigns, if you're familiar with that. Raspberry Robin compromises the endpoint and begins to build a collection of machines, which the threat actors then sell access to whoever and whenever they need it. The cyber criminal ecosystem is leveraging this offering as an access as a service model to deploy info stealers, ransomware, additional persistence mechanisms, just to name a few. Practitioners should protect from this malware through fundamental practice of end-user education around USB drives, validating that auto-run of USB drives is not enabled both on the endpoint and in group policy, and visit the Microsoft Security Threat Intelligence sites for technical indicators of compromise. All you Chrome users out there, prioritize patching your instances and ensuring your end users are patched too. Google has announced an emergency patch for a type confusion vulnerability in its popular web browser Chrome, ID'd as CVE 2022-3723. Google is not disclosing much information on this vulnerability, but there is moderate confidence that it's being actively exploited in the wild and can lead to arbitrary code execution on compromised systems. It's important to note this affects all versions of Chrome, so Windows users, Mac users, Linux users, Android users, y'all can finally agree on something. I'd recommend centrally forcing an update if possible in your environment and/or notifying end users to take a minute, update, and then share with their friends and family to help protect them as well. Moving on to terrible passwords still happening in 2022. Fast Company has reported a data breach and some reputational damage as a hacker named Thrax was able to log into multiple of the company's WordPress instances with the password pizza123, which I went ahead and looked up and confirmed is in the RockU password dictionary. The hacker accessed the system and collected multiple API keys and authentication tokens. And not to be basic, Thrax sent 2 obscene and offensive push notifications to the mobile device home screen of Fast Company's customers. Apple News Service suspended Fast Company until it got sorted out, and Fast Company had to issue a public apology. But the real TLDR here is to educate both end users and IT staff, to include people who are considered application owners like WordPress, on the risk of using terrible passwords and how to easily leverage password vaults for better password practices. And finally, statistical evidence has been published revealing that phishing attacks are not just still a threat, but are increasing in frequency and effectiveness. Phishing has always been a popular initial attack vector for all levels of cyber threat actors with a variety of objectives. As technical defenses have improved over the years, threat actors have relied on the tried and true practice of social engineering end users into giving up their credentials or pulling down malware. SlashNext has released findings showing that phishing emails have increased 61% year to date from 2021, and that 75% of phishing emails are focused on credential harvesting. I myself have what I think is pretty good email security practices, and I still received a free Yeti backpack phish email just yesterday. End users are the clear target here. Consistency, vigilance, and non-technical language are the keys to winning and nerfing the success of phishing attacks on you, your loved ones, and the organizations you protect. Remember to check out simplycyber.io/streams to get longer form, deeper dive cyber threat briefings every weekday morning. I'm Gerald Ozier from Simply Cyber. Consider yourself armed with knowledge.